We are dedicating the entire hour to something sweet. I'm David Moss, she's Nellie Herbert, and no, it's not just about her.
No, it is not, and that is very sweet of you to say, though, I must add. Today is going to be all about sweet things like pies, cookies,
Ooh, I like that.
cakes, you know, anything that's made with sugar. We're probably going to feature it in the show today. You okay with this?
Yeah, where are we going?
Well, first, you know, we're at the Fluffy Duck now, great place. We're going to feature this a little later on, but first, we are heading to a place in Sharon Center. Check this out.
Dancing Desserts is a full from-scratch bakery. I'm actually 4th generation. My mom ran a baking business out of her house. My great-grandmother did it, so I decided to go to culinary school. And around here, you don't have your from-scratch, grandma-made sweets, and that's what we wanted. I used to be a dancer. I was a dancer for 22 years. I loved it. Unfortunately, I always thought that would be my dream job, and a car accident happened and some medical issues, and I kind of had to rethink my life a little bit. I decided that it was time for me to go to culinary school, for me just to enjoy that aspect of my life. The cake decorating and stuff is kind of what I enjoyed. It's the creative art aspect that dance gave me that, you know, say you get it with cooking, but at least I get that creativity a little bit. If you're a chocolate addict, I would go for our fudge brownie. Our fudge brownies will take care of any chocolate fix that you might need. My favorite is our apple cake. It's an apple walnut cake. It was something that we brought to every cookout. My mom made things that we took to school for our class picnics, and that's probably one of our most popular as well. So our Paint Me cookies. There are homemade sugar cookie, which is more like a butter cookie rather than like a real soft, bendable cookie. And we use a royal icing on them, and then we paint or hand draw a design on them. So it's just a black and white cookie, very simple. But then we make a little paint palette to go with it, made out of food coloring. And we supply a paintbrush, and kids can paint just like a watercolor, or even adults. Most adults love them too. You just add a little bit of water to your food coloring and you paint in the lines, just like you would a watercolor or a paint by number. But then the nice thing is you get to eat your cookie at the end. All of our mixers here, one of our quirky things is everyone has a name. Ed is our big 80-quart mixer. Ed is actually painted pink, so we have some fun with Ed. Baby is our big 20-quart, and then we have others like we have Miss Piggy and Kermit, we have Casper, who's obviously white, we have Dumbo, our gray one, and the list goes on. We probably have about 12 mixers, and they all have a name that we call them by. They're never just that mixer. It depends on the day, what sells. You know, we go through hundreds of pies and cookies daily, but most people know us for being from scratch. Like, you're still getting your pie dough made by hand, so with fresh fruit in the middle. So pies, one thing that most people come here for. We're also known kind of for our lunches. We have a very small lunch menu, but it's fresh roasted meat, it's homemade sauces, fresh bread out of the oven. Homemade soup, not your pre-made dump out of a bucket type. So our reputation kind of keeps us busy for everything.
Dancing Desserts is in Sharon Center. Once again, it's just minutes from Wadsworth.
Okay, now we're going to go to Westlake, and this is a place, well, you're not going to forget the name because it's a cool name. It's called Stick to Your Buns Bakery.
I started by baking just for friends and family. My dad was a baker, and he taught me how to cake decorate. So I started selling it at work, and it kind of just took off from there, word of mouth. We made that leap into opening a storefront because we had the company out of our house for 6 years, and it became very large, kind of overthrowing our home. So we jumped in head first. Stick to Your Buns Bakery came about 6 years ago when I was sitting there trying to figure out a name, wanted something catchy that when someone was driving by, they were like, Stick to Your Buns Bakery, that's cute, let me check it out. And definitely people have caught on. Some of the things we do are 3D cakes, wedding cakes, custom sugar cookies. We also make custom cookie cutters. So someone can email me a picture of what they want, and I put it into a program, trace the picture, and then load it into my 3D printer. And it takes about an hour, and this is what comes out. So it's a plastic material, and this is a final product here of what the cookie may look like. Some of the things that we're known for are kolaczkis. I do make them by hand. We also make the custom sugar cookies. That is one of our main specialties. So at Christmas time we do ugly Christmas sweaters. We do corporate logos because I have an edible image printer. Birthday cakes, cupcakes, you name it. We pretty much will do what a customer would ask for. All right, so right now I am mixing some royal icing to put on these ugly Christmas sweaters. I picked green to start with. And these cookies are quite large. They are a custom cookie cutter that my husband made. It is a metal cookie cutter. So we started out making custom cutters out of metal, and now they're made out of 3D material. Let's put that on there and spread it around. Once that is done, I've got some really fun sugar candies that we could create a cute but ugly Christmas sweater. We have giant sugar cookies with M&Ms or giant chocolate chip cookies. The prices are reasonable. Someone can just pop in, grab a cookie for their kid on the way home. The cookies are only $1. But then we also have pastry trays, cookie trays. So, you know, anything anybody would potentially want, small or large, we can do it. It is a lot of work, but it's relaxing for me, and it's also my own. I don't have to answer to anybody. I can just do pretty much what I want, give people what they want.
Stick to Your Buns Bakery is located on Center Ridge Road in Westlake. Coming up after the break, it's a little sunshine in Portage County.
We're developing our pet line, but we do have Cupcakes available every day, and it's a peanut butter pumpkin.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. 2 for $2. Every Tuesday, you're going to find some very long lines at this next place, Sunshine Cupcakes in Ravenna.
Well, Sunshine Cupcakes has turned into this amazing connection to our community. The community has just embraced us, and we in turn just come in here and bake up a storm every day. Honestly, I had been on a career path in management and working with people with disabilities. And I came across the cupcake shop for sale just a little over a year ago. And I felt so drawn to it. So in the early days, there were some Lucille Ball moments for sure. But I developed my own recipes, and we gave the cupcake shop a facelift. And here we are. Our wedding light is one that people just absolutely love, our almond. But we have salted caramel, we have the Buckeye, which is peanut butter and chocolate. Peanut butter heaven is probably our top seller. Of course, we do seasonal flavors. We just sold more pumpkin cupcakes in the last month than I could even count. Cherry pie, blueberry, key lime pie, the list goes on. I will say my summer all-time favorite is the pina colada cupcake. It is so amazing. And then the fall flavor was pumpkin. With the cream cheese icing, and then we'll see what happens with our Christmas flavors. I would venture to say that we probably sell 20 to 25 dozen a day. So we are always baking, and we love taking customer recommendations. If they have a flavor that they'd like us to try, we'll give it a shot. Sometimes we do a first birthday party for a baby, sometimes a 90th birthday party. So that goes through our minds a lot while we're making the cupcakes. It's just an honor to be part of everybody's special occasions. We do have a secret ingredient, and it gives our cupcake this amazing flavor and they just stay fresh. You could have it in your fridge for a week and think you just bought it that day. We're developing our pet line, but we do have cupcakes available every day, and it's a peanut butter pumpkin, and then we also do a peanut butter honey dog biscuit to top it off because it needs to be pretty like the other cupcakes. Our chocolates are seasonal right now, so we will have them all through the month of December, and we do our own Buckeyes, chocolate caramel covered pretzels, turtles, chocolate covered cherries. Love making those, makes a nice gift. We have an amazing chemistry together. So usually there's music going, and we absolutely love Throwback Thursday. It motivates us to hear the oldies, and we just bounce off of each other. I am so humbled by this experience. So, you know, I had never been a business owner before a year ago. So the connection that you have to your community, owning a business, you know, they don't need me, but I need them to keep my doors open. And I'm humbled day after day that people choose us over other cupcake shops.
Sunshine Cupcakes is located on South Prospect Street in Ravenna.
Okay, now our next bakery is a little different than the rest because we're talking about no dairy, no eggs, but the same great taste. Take a look.
Boysenberry, everything we do is vegan, no dairy, eggs, or anything else that comes from an animal. So that's the main difference from a regular bakery, but we pride ourselves on the fact that people don't know that it's different. We don't have vegan in the name of the bakery for a reason. You know, we hope to get people in, get them to try something, and then tell them it's vegan. And a lot of non-vegan customers are surprised that what we sell is vegan. People are really excited. You know, when vegans come in here and realize that everything's vegan, they get excited. You know, we've had parents bring in children with dairy allergies, and they're excited for their children because now, you know, they get to experience that feeling of walking into a bakery and being able to eat anything. So we've seen a lot of excitement from customers. I had a customer in here. He asked, "Is everything here vegan?" I said, "Yes." And he's like, "Oh man, I'll get something for my wife." So he's very hesitant, so I told him, like, look, try something, you know, I'm sure you'll like it. If you don't like it, you know, I'll refund your money. So he bought a cinnamon roll. Next day he came back and he's looking at me. He's like, all right, you got me. It was good. And he's been in here several times since, and he buys a decent amount. And so it's, you know, again, we pride ourselves on catching the non-vegan crowd and proving to them that vegan food can be delicious. Jen has a lot of practice, and she's been doing this for a while. She knows what works. I can't even really remember any duds in the experimenting process. It's, you know, if you do your research and are willing to try, then it'll work out. She does things, you know, that we like, and you know, she just tries to come up with new, creative, fun flavors and tries to make it a fun experience. You know, even down to the names of, you know, our baked goods. Like we try to have fun with the names. You know, we have a cupcake called Jazz Hands because it's a lemon cake with a raspberry filling and a lemon raspberry frosting. Because they're jazz hands. Ooh. One of our biggest sellers since we've opened is our apple critters. We call it critters. The idea is apple fritter, so it's fried dough with chunks of apple and a glaze on it. So that's gone, like, we do those almost every day, and we pretty much sell out every day of those. We started Donut Wednesdays. You know, we do the yeast raised fried donuts, and that has been going well. And then overall, just, you know, our oatmeal chocolate chip cookies that we call it Chips versus Oats, and that's I'm a little biased, but that's my favorite cookie of all time, and that sells really well. So Jen just rotates the menu on a regular basis. There are certain items we have every day: our muffins, our breakfast breads, and the cookies. You know, maybe the apple critters. But as far as a lot of the other things, cupcakes and our Woo Girls, whoopie pies, we just try to rotate them, and so, you know, people who come in here regularly can try something different every time. When we opened the bakery, we knew we wanted to have good coffee too. We wanted to make it a bakery and cafe. So we wanted to work with local roasters and feature their products because they roast good beans. So we work with a 6-shooter and then also Solstice. And the idea is to carry a with your baked good, you can get a really good cup of coffee too. The vegan community has been very supportive. It's been great. I thank everyone that shared about Boysenberry, whether I know them or not. So next for Boysenberry, we're going to start an all-day Saturday breakfast, all vegan, focused on comfort foods, waffles, pancakes, tofu scramble, biscuits and gravy, all vegan of course, and then we'll go from there.
Boysenberry Bakery is located on Larchmere in Cleveland. Coming up next, we're going to find out what's baking right here in the kitchen at the Fluffy Duck.
It's nice to bring back all the old stuff instead of having all their prepared foods ready to eat that's been sitting on the shelves for a week. We bake it fresh every single day, and you can come get a loaf every single day if you wanted to.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. You know, it is all about fresh baked treats, and you will find the very best right here at Fluffy Duck Cafe.
Here at the Fluffy Duck, we bake everything is scratch baked, fresh baked every day, and we do all laminated products such as croissants, Danish, our Quidamans. We do that in-house too, scratch bread. And a lot of the product is organic, and we use as much local product as possible. We start baking here around 3 o'clock in the morning. My dad comes in and starts the bake that I set up for him the night before. When we laminate dough, it's when we lock butter into a dough portion, sheet it out over a series of folds and turns, and then over time you get the honeycomb inside that you see in a croissant. So it's just butter, dough, all the way up. So this is croissant dough, and what I'm doing right now is I'm locking in the butter to the dough. So I can roll the dough with the butter and have every other layer will be butter, and the others will be dough. So when you're done, you get those nice croissants over there. So this is a dough sheeter. It helps me make croissant dough faster, so it's not as bad. Our highlights at the cafe are the Quidamans is our #1 seller. Not a lot of people know what it is. It's a caramelized laminated dough with sugar and butter, a little finished with a little sea salt. But everyone buys that's our most popular item. And then the croissants, almond croissants at Danish, they're also very popular. You know. For me, I like the French baguette. It's very good for me. It has a lot of flavor and only 4 ingredients, so to get the flavor out of it, to me, that is one of my favorite things. But I'm very proud of the lamination as well, the croissants and Danish. I get a lot of satisfaction just out of the end product in this job. I like to see when everything is baked nice, perfect, from one night to the next bake in the morning, and everything comes out good. It gives you a nice, easy feeling for the next day to start over again, you know? I think that it's higher quality, hey, and it's nice to bring back all the old stuff instead of having all their prepared foods ready to eat that's been sitting on the shelves for a week. We bake it fresh every single day, and you can come get a loaf every single day if you wanted to. We plan on adding more items. We're trying to figure out what sells out in this area right now, which is hard to find our place right now because business has been inconsistent at the moment, but we're planning on adding more breakfast items, breakfast pastry items and such like that. But once we get there, I think I'll be happy and we'll keep moving on. When I built the space, I wanted it to be just open, you feel like you have a lot of space in the front, very bright, very clean, and then everything else is very simple, you know. But it's done extremely well. That's what I was going for, simple but done well. I chose this area because I see the development coming here, and I feel that it'll be a large part of the community here soon. They're connecting all the areas of Cleveland Clinic and University Circle together, so I just feel a lot of foot traffic, a lot of good people will be here. Yeah. When I see people get excited when they come in here, it's when they see the quality of the products compared to another place that they're used to. They see that it's fresh, it's baked there, it's bigger, it's flakier, it's not dry, it's warm already. It's warm through most of the day, and it's been baked in the morning. You know. We don't sell day-old pastries. We don't.
Again, you can find Fluffy Duck Cafe right here on Chester Avenue in Cleveland.
Okay, now we're going to head to Cuyahoga Falls, where sweets are just the beginning of tempting treats on the menu.
Kiflis Bakery and Café is a family-owned restaurant and bakery and cafe. We came over from Germany. I was born there, so was my brother and sister, and we came over here when I was very young. My dad was born in Bosnia, my mom was born in Croatia, and they kind of met over in like college and stuff like that. But yeah, they brought over a lot of stuff like cevape. You won't find that just about anywhere else. It's just beef sausages that we make here ourselves. With lepinja, we make it here ourselves. It's just like a thin flatbread. Just the way it's made is wonderful. We also make burek, which is just like a thin flaky fila dough.
Sonia is over there making burek, which is, she starts every morning. We make the phyllo dough from scratch, which as it bakes, phyllo dough turns out to be very crispy and crunchy and flaky. She fills the burek, so she stretches it out on a tablecloth, and so it's extremely thin. And then she fills it with a filling, which we have cheese, we have sweet cheese, we have spinach and cheese, we have beef, and we also use potato. And we also have sweeter ones too, like sour cherry and apples. She'll roll it up into like really thin tubes. And then, as she makes 2 at a time, she has 2 rolls of tubes and they're attached in the center by the dough. So she'll cut it with something that looks like a pizza cutter, but it's a lot larger. And she'll take them and she'll kind of twist them around so they look like an oblong cinnamon roll. And she bakes them in the oven. So after they bake, we package them up and they're ready to eat. We eat this all day long. You can have it for breakfast, you can have it for lunch, you can have it for dinner, and depending on the filling, if you could also have it for dessert. We also serve this with homemade yogurt that we make here. And this here is our cevap sandwich. Our cevaps are beef sausages that we make here, homemade from scratch, no preservatives. And they have beef and different spices in them. And we also serve it on a homemade bread with vegetables on the side. And this is our Monte Cristo sandwich. It has generous portions of Swiss cheese, ham, and turkey, and it has mayo and mustard on it. And the great, really awesome savory part about it is that it has a French toast batter on the outside, and it's baked on top of the skillet. We also serve this with jam and fruit. And these here are jam-filled cookies. We have flour cookies, and we also make different shapes for different holidays. We have multiple different cookies that we can make here. We take holiday orders, and we'll make them seasonal based off of whatever your requests are. We also have strudels that have made us famous here. We have walnut strudels and poppy seed strudels. And something super special about that is everything is handmade, and we even hand grind on an old style traditional grinder our poppy seeds and our walnuts.
Kiflis Bakery and Cafe is located on State Road in Cuyahoga Falls. They are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yes.
Coming up next, Cupcakes in Mentor.
Want them to have the experience that, oh my gosh, this is like a decadent dessert and not a cupcake.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Are you looking for something sweet on the east side? Well, let's head to Mentor. It's a place called Confectionary Cupboard.
It is a couture cupcake and bakery that is located here in Mentor, Ohio. We've been around in this location 6 years. We specialize in cupcakes. We do different flavors every day. We rotate out our flavors. During the week, we make a dozen different flavors, and we fluctuate between like a dozen and a half, 2 dozen of each flavor daily. We always have a few extra in the back, so if it's a real crazy day, we can always refrost. My daughter went off to college. I had worked for my parents. My parents were retiring and selling their business, so I kind of said to my husband, you know, well, what do you think? And he said, well, go and research it. So I researched it for about 1.5 years and then kind of jumped in. We know that it was originally the library, and it was located up on Route 20. It was built in the early 1900s, 1901. The architect was actually President Garfield's youngest son. He and the Garfields were very active in raising the funds for the books for the library. And so it was a library until early 1950 when they built the now existing library, and then a lady bought it and moved it to this location.
White chocolate raspberry.
My favorite part is actually the baking. It's very early in the morning. I'm like a huge country girl, so my country music's like on high. I'm the only one here in the bakery, and I just it's very soothing to bake. Our newest flavor we premiered this week is like strawberry crunch, kind of based on the ice cream bar, where we vanilla cupcake, we fill it with our strawberry buttercream, then we tap it in vanilla buttercream, and then we make a kind of a crunchy coating with like freeze-dried strawberries and other things, and then we roll it in there so you get that ice cream effect. They're all my favorites. We usually kind of ask them, you know, when they come in for the first time, do they like chocolate, do they not like chocolate? And then we kind of try to steer them to, like, today we have like a hot fudge sundae, which is, you know, has chocolate ganache baked into the middle of it. It's like a real fun cupcake. So we kind of get a feel, you know, what they're kind of looking for. Like, you don't want to load someone up with chocolate who can't stand chocolate. Can't imagine that world, but it does happen. So we kind of steer them that way. Want them to have the experience that, oh my gosh, this is like a decadent dessert and not a cupcake. Because you can get cupcakes anywhere. My kind of philosophy for the company is, you know, we're part of the neighborhood, and so we try to like learn our customers' names and more like welcoming friends back more than just clients.
Confectionary Cupboard is located on Center Street in Mentor.
Okay, so beautiful, delicious, artistic. These are just three of the words to describe our next bakery. We are headed to Green.
When I started the bakery in 1995, I just had always loved to cook and bake and was just ready for a change. I was in the retail business for 12 years and was just ready for something different to do. I had an epiphany one year in New York City. I walked by a bakery that had the most beautiful, unique looking and artistic looking cakes, and I said, that is what I need to do. And now I have artists, I have people who have been cake decorators for a long time. I just have people who are very talented who do the work, and I let them use their own creativity. And so every day you'll come in and it'll be something different. But they're just highly decorated, very beautiful. You can come in the store and just get something just right out of the case. We always have them available, or you can place a custom order and have us decorate it however you would like. A gentleman that I was just talking to here said, oh my gosh, those cakes are so beautiful. How do you cut into them and eat them? But that's part of it. You know, you always say that you eat with your eyes first, and you really do. So it has to be appealing and beautiful to make you want to purchase it. We're probably also known for a lot of our cookies. We have a large variety of them, many different kinds of, even just basic cookies, chocolate chip, M&M, you know, chocolate brownie, but we have a line of biscottis, we have a line of shortbreads, we do an awesome coconut macaroon, decorated cutouts. We, again, always can change them up for the holidays, which makes them a lot of fun, so that's always the first thing people look for is the decorated cupcakes, the decorated cookies, just because it's a fun treat. We've had our first location in Akron for 22 years, and my husband and I have been very happy doing that for all that time, but then our son graduated and went away you know, to college and then took off, and we just felt like we wanted to do something else in our lives. It just seemed like a great community to come to. They're really glad that we're here. It gives them, because there's nothing else like that in this area. We make things from scratch. And when you make things from scratch, there's just such a difference in it. It's just no different than if you were making it at home with your grandma or your mom or your daughter or whatever, but just on a much, much larger scale than that. People come to bakeries because everybody loves a treat. And I always call this a happy business, because it really is. When those customers walk in the door, they should be happy. They should be excited to see all the beautiful things in the case. When we service them, give them what they need, make their cakes for them, pastries, whatever it is that we're doing for them, that should make them happy. When they go home and they serve it to their family or they take it as a gift for some, we have so many people who come in and want to get treats from us to take to gifts to somebody else, because again, it says something about them. Here's a quality product. We love this bakery. We want you to love it also. And it's a nice gift to give somebody. It should be happy all the way around. You can walk in the bakery and buy cakes, cookies, pastries, creme brulee, cream puffs, turtle tarts. I mean, vegan items. We also have usually a variety of vegan items in our case. Or you can certainly make a custom order. I have people who will bring us their creme brulee cups and say, gosh, can you please make them in my cups because I'm having a dinner party. So you can really do anything, especially custom cakes for birthdays and anniversaries, and they'll bring in a napkin and say, hey, these are the colorways that we're doing. Can you do something beautiful and floral and match what how we're decorating our table? So you can we do a lot of custom orders, and I think that's maybe what sets us apart from some of the competition, is because we will try to do anything and everything we can to make that customer happy.
The Westside Bakery is in green, and when we come back, we're showing you some sweets in downtown Akron.
I make it a point to use as many high quality and local ingredients as I can. We really care. I put a lot into everything.
Well, if you're looking for an incredible loaf of bread or a pastry, literally as big as your head, you have to come to Vera's Bakery here at Westside Market. But this has been a staple here since the 70s.
Yeah, it's been here one of the longest running stands here at the Westside Market.
But even though it's been here forever, you are fairly new in a way, we should say.
Yes, I took over at the end of August. The lady who owned it for 42 years, it's been in her family, decided to retire and sell. And we've been selling to the stand for her for over 10 years. So it's natural for us to kind of take over so that everybody that's come down here to visit Vera's Bakery will still see the same items they've always seen. And then I get to add a little twist on it. So my fiance Frank DeBlasi and I at DeBlasi's Bakery provide the bakery for Vera's Bakery. And it's delivered here fresh every morning, every time the stand is open. And so it's a labor of love, but definitely labor.
Definitely labor, but for you, it's a huge benefit, because I'm telling you, this place, when you look at the stand, it's mind-blowing, some of the things you have in here. What do I have in my hand right now?
That's one of our staples. It's very old school bakery. People call it an elephant ear or a flying saucer, or they want to know what it is. What's that giant cookie
They don't know what it is, but they want it.
But they want
What's the bet? Do you break it or do you just bite it?
You can do either. It's made with a Danish dough, cinnamon, pecans, and sugar, and it's a crispy,
a lot lighter
chewy.
than I thought.
Yeah. And it's excellent. And it's one of our biggest sellers, along with our Russian teas and anything you can imagine we have here at Vera's Bakery.
You've done the bread and all of the pastries for them?
Yes, and we do about 90% of the stuff that's in the case. And we do our pepperoni bread. We also have blossom bread, which you won't be able to find anywhere else. My father-in-law created them. It's an Italian dough. Then we fill them and we make 7 different kinds. It's basically a pull-apart bread. And we do a bacon cheddar onion, a pepperoni parm onion, a garlic parm, a jalapeno cheddar, a bacon cheddar, an olive, an onion, and they look like a flower that's blossomed, but it's bread, and it's really cool.
Not only does it look cool, I'm sure it probably tastes...
Yeah, it tastes amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So for you and the family then, this has definitely, as you said, been a labor of love, but I'm sure when you have customers that come in and they just have that smile on their face from getting that fresh loaf or that fresh pastry every single day, it must mean the world to you.
Yeah, it makes it really worth it, because when you've worked 18 hours a day and you've worked 8 days a week, you're just like, oh, why am I doing this? And then a little kid will run up and say, I want that. Or a lady will come up and say, these cookies taste just like my grandmother's, and she'll start to cry because she hasn't had them in such a long time. So that part of it is very rewarding, and you get to make somebody special. Stay special.
That is something that you always should consider. In this business, food can turn someone's day around.
Yeah, it really can. There's not too many angry people that come to the bakery, so that's kind of exciting.
I mean, look at this. How can you be angry after you get this in your hands?
Exactly.
Do you suggest eating it in one sitting?
Or maybe you can. A lot of people buy them and share them, but they'll get 5, 6 at a time and have them for the week. So
delicious. I just can't get over how many amazing things are in this. You have to come back and order some of this great food, and the bread too. Absolutely fabulous. I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
you have stayed, and that it
Yeah.
was a smooth transition for you to come in
Yeah,
and take
very,
over.
very. It was wonderful. Everybody here has been wonderful. The staff, the guys from Kate Fish, to Tim at DW Whitaker, to Diane back at the cheese place, to Renee and Steve, who are my neighbors. You know,
they're a big family here.
Yeah, I mean, they showed me the ropes, and they've been wonderful, and I really appreciate that.
That's why we love this place. Thank you so much for having
You're
me.
welcome.
I'm going to
Thanks for
take a
having
few
us.
of these to go.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good.
When you're in the mood for something sweet or savory, you can satisfy your sweet tooth at a place called Sweet Mary's.
I guess I've been baking for really as long as I can remember. I always helped my mom in the kitchen growing up. I sold cookies in front of my parents' house when I was 8, and I made pies for kids in high school. And one Christmas, when I was working in an office doing bill collections, another woman in the office and I decided to get together and make Christmas cookies to sell. It went so well that we were baking for like 3 straight days, and we didn't really anticipate how many people would be interested. Everything's made from scratch. The sandwiches, the dinner roll dough, we start from scratch with flour and milk and eggs and butter. And make it a point to use as many high quality and local ingredients as I can. We really care. I put a lot into everything, and to me it's food. Giving someone food is one of the nicest things you can do. My mom always made pie growing up. So apple has always been a favorite. We like to use a variety of apples that give it a nicer depth of flavor. It's comforting, it's homey, so we've always been making apple pie. But I like the custard pies a lot. I think those are fun. Chocolate cream is probably our best seller, but we do chocolate peanut butter. I do a French toast pie, which has been really popular. I made it one day and thought, well, this would be really good if I put maple syrup and some cinnamon and some brown sugar in there. And so I tried it, and it tasted just like French toast. The hand pies is basically just a pie you can hold in your hand. We just take our pie dough and then we fill it with the filling, and then seal the edges back up, and you can walk down the street eating a piece of pie. So people really like those. They're a little limited. We can't do them in custard because we bake them with the filling in there. I like crunchy cheese. We do those in savory as well, which people really like. So we've been doing chicken pot hand pies. Have been really popular, especially in this area, since most people work around here and they can walk down for lunch or breakfast. They like the fact that they can grab something and eat it on the way back to their office or while they're driving somewhere. The sugar cookies are a big seller. Ours are a soft sugar cookie. We use all butter. A lot of places use shortening, which you get a crumblier cookie with shortening. They're softer, and we use buttercream instead of royal icing. Whenever I'm trying to decide which way to go, it's always what tastes best. So some things might look better, but we've gotten it down. I think the sugar cookies look pretty good. So we have fun with those. We sold a lot of our Conversation Heart cookies for Valentine's Day. Those were popular because we do a lot of fun stuff. I think people are looking for a reason to be proud of downtown Akron again. So it's really exciting to be downtown at a time when there's this renaissance downtown, when they're bringing more arts and culture back into downtown, and small businesses are popping up here and there. It's just really great to be in such a vibrant area. It gives people a reason to come downtown.
Sweet Mary's is located in downtown Akron. Our last stop takes us to a place that combines cookies and ice cream. We'll take you there when we return.
The cookies are really a family recipe. I really loved baking. I was totally the baker. I loved cookies.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. All hour long, we've been discovering some of the best bakeries around. And we have time for one more stop in downtown Cleveland, where you will find gourmet ice cream sandwiches.
Cathy's, we are a gourmet ice cream sandwich shop. We do all freshly baked cookies in-house from natural organic ingredients. So when customers come in, they first choose a cookie, 2, choose an ice cream, 3, choose a topping. But we are a full-service ice cream shop. We do milkshakes, scoops, sundaes. We also offer catering, so we'll bring all store to your event. And then we also do vendor events around the city too. So we do a wide scope of ice cream sandwich products. The cookies are really a family recipe. I really loved baking. I was totally the baker. I loved cookies. And we have 6 cookie flavors here. Those 6 are kind of like my top 6 that I just love. We have 15 ice cream flavors, including 2 vegan options. So we have like your standard classic vanilla, milk chocolate, butter pecan, mint chocolate chip. And then we also have some of those like quirky, fun flavors. Sometimes we'll have maple bacon. During the holidays, we'll have peppermint stick and eggnog. But some of the staple ones that are quirky that I love are apple pie, key lime pie, pineapple upside down cake. We have 6 different toppings. We have Fruity Pebbles, Oreos, chocolate pieces, pecans, M&Ms, and the syrups, caramel and chocolate sauce. The top 3 is the classic, which is the chocolate chip cookie with vanilla ice cream rolled in rainbow sprinkles. The next top bestseller is the Snickerdoodle cookie. Snickerdoodle is a sugar cookie rolled in cinnamon and sugar. It's really, really yummy. So we have our Snickerdoodle cookies, apple pie ice cream, which is so yummy. Reminds you of like holidays and things like that. And from there, we are going to roll it in Fruity Pebbles. It's a really cool combo. A lot of customers get it. And then the last is the chocolate brownie cookie with mint chocolate chip ice cream rolled in Oreo pieces. Super yummy, I love them all. You can mix match cookies, so you can get like a chocolate chip with a chocolate brownie. So that's kind of fun, you get the best of both worlds. I lived downtown Cleveland while I was in law school, and I first noticed that there were no like dessert shops down here at the time, like no frozen dessert, no frozen yogurt, no ice cream, nothing. And I'm like an ice cream addict. And I'm like, we need something down here where I can walk in and have an ice cream experience. And so I came up with the concept of gourmet ice cream sandwiches. The best part, I would say, is all of it. I mean, the cookies are freshly baked, so they're nice and soft. And then the ice cream, we sourced locally, so that's another great addition. And then you get to top it off with a topping. So it's really just very customizable, you know, and you get to have a really nice, sweet, dessert option right here in the heart of downtown Cleveland. Cathy's is Cleveland, you know. I'm not from here, but I fell in love with the city when I moved here. I'm big on just entrepreneurship and encouraging young adults, especially if you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have an aspiration. It's totally attainable. With hard work, persistence, you can have it.
Cathy's Creamery is located right in downtown Cleveland. They do also offer catering. I don't know about you, but I am stuffed now.
I know I'm stuffed because I can't button my coat anymore. When I started this show, it was like this.
Now it's like, window, right?
No, it's like this. But it was sweet, sweet treats. I loved them all. I loved the bakeries. Had a good time, right?
I think a lot of people are going to be hustling and bustling now as they hit that 11 o'clock hour to get out and get some good desserts.
If you want to find these places, the list is on our website. I'm David Moss.
I'm Natalie Herbig.
And we'll see you on the next
New Day Cleveland.
So long.